What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Tasty Tuesday on Tasty Loot Gaming, the show where we talk about gaming news. My name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
A quick reminder, make sure to play Mad Max and Trackmania Turbo. Both are free on PlayStation Plus. You can download those, play those, and come back at the end of this month. We'll be talking about them on Plus Club. Let us know your experience with those games. We'll let you know ours. And our game of the month is Persona 5. Make sure to play that and come back at the end of the month. We'll talk about it as well. But with that, also join the Discord. We got a Discord, so go down, click that link in the description box, and join the conversation anytime. But with that, we have 3 bits of news, and we'll jump into it. So year 2 has started in Ghost Recon Wildlands. And kind of a thing that Ubisoft's been doing lately is just supporting their games past 1 year, which has been really cool. We've been pretty supportive of it. And the first chunk of content coming out for year 2 in Wildlands is out today. And it is a mission that involves Sam Fisher. People have been speculating if Splinter Cell will be showing up, and he is. So in this special crossover mission, you're going to be assisting Sam Fisher in Bolivia to hunt down his targets, and it is either by yourself or with your friends in co-op like the rest of the game. It's a nighttime mission, and it's supposed to be one of the most difficult missions in the game. By completing it within a certain amount of time, you will receive Sam's goggles, night vision filter, and other unspecified goodies. They are also adding sabotage mode and echelon assault class in the PvP. Echelon is probably related to 4th echelon, which was in Splinter Cell. It's also worth noting too that Michael Ironside is playing Sam Fisher in this, which is really interesting because in 2013, which is crazy, that's when the last Splinter Cell game came out, they had a new guy play him. So I don't know if we can speculate if he might be coming back as Sam Fisher, if this is just kind of for fun. What do we think about Ubisoft's now normal extension on their game support? What do you think about Splinter Cell making a comeback in Wildlands and year 2 and the content that they are offering?
I mean, you kind of said earlier, we've been supporting companies. Ubisoft's been doing it a lot, but other companies are also jumping on board with it, supporting the games longer. It's great. You know, if you love playing the game, you still get new stuff for it. As far as them doing crossover with one of their other IPs, I think this is probably one of the better ones to do, especially since it has been since 2013 since we've even seen the guy's face. So
you never see his face. He's in the dark. It's the ooh with the fucking green.
I remember the commercials. What was that on Xbox 360 or whatever? They're right at the end. It's like there's the 3 dots or whatever.
Dope as fuck. Love Sam Fisher.
But you know, it's cool. Hopefully this is kind of like a little Easter egg to kind of talk about, like, maybe they're actually working on another game. That'd be really cool.
Fucking hope so.
But even if they're not, I think it's fitting. So yeah, it's cool. And especially since it does have rewards that let you kind of like dress your character up as an agent. So
I'm a huge Tom Clancy fan, especially the games. Been playing them forever. I like Wildlands. I've been wanting a fucking Splinter Cell. I think Sam Fisher is a really cool character. Love that Michael Ironside is coming back to play him because he's got that like definitive voice. And yeah, I think this is a cool crossover because in the Tom Clancy world, all these agencies and groups all exist in the same universe. So kind of cross promotes the different brands, but also makes them feel like they're connected. Because there was a small teaser, and I decided not to watch it because it doesn't really do a whole lot. But they kind of, talk about like, fucking meeting up with old friends or whatever, and Sam's meeting up with Ghost Recon to do this mission. And it would have been cool to play as him, but it makes sense you're not. He's probably just gonna be wandering around taking people out, like fully animated doing his thing while you're gonna be going through the mission, which I'll be excited to try this out. But yeah, I think it's cool. Like I said, I like both properties. I'm hoping this is like a preemptive, we're gonna be making a Splinter Cell here soon, because he's kind of coming up again, which if they're thinking about him, they're probably thinking about making a game, and I would love that. And also, I forgot to mention, so you're going to have till the 16th to play this and finish it. The mission will stick around after that, but you won't get the rewards unless you do it before the 16th. So, but yeah, I'm really excited. I think it's cool as fuck. I can't wait to get the quintessential night vision goggles. And yeah, as for like the extension of them supporting this game into year 2. It's awesome. I love that Ubisoft has taken this on as kind of their whole like mantra to all their games. All their games, they're supporting multiple years now, which that longevity, it seems like all these properties are doing well still. It seems like people are still playing them. So, and I've been a proponent for a long time that if you have a game that works really well, there's not really a point to make the sequel until you have like new reasons to make a sequel. Just keep supporting it. People like it, they're going to keep playing it. The only reason they normally hop ship is something new and hot comes out, or they buy your sequel because you made it too quickly. So, and then a lot of times they're bitch about, this was like the last one. So, it's cool. Really excited for it. Anything else you want to say on it? All right, let us know in the comments. What do you think about Ghost Recon Wildlands? What do you think about Splinter Cell? Do you want it to come back? Are you excited for this event? Are you going to participate in it? Do you think it sounds cool? Do you think it sounds like whatever? Do you not give a shit about this? Let us know. Second bit news.
So, Warhammer Vermintide 2 is out and has gotten a good reception so far, though a chunk of fans have expressed dissatisfaction with the game's sometimes punishing difficulty. They have heard that. They're responding, and in a patch 1.0.5, they're making some changes. Character skills are going to get buffs. The enemies, some of the enemies are going to get some nerfs, or they're going to become weaker. And certain rewards, what does it say here? Hero power. It's going to be changed a little bit. The example they give is veteran will be 300 instead of 200 now. So what do we think about them addressing the community concern on the game and the changes that they're bringing forth?
I think it's really interesting because first off, I don't see anything wrong with this, but I am kind of like, when I first played Vermintide 2, I noticed that the game was more difficult. It seemed like some of the special enemies were a lot more difficult than they were in the last game, and some of the new ones were ridiculously fucking strong. There's maybe one that if they fixed him, great, but the other ones, I just kind of felt like, wow, they really upped this. They really want this game to be a lot like more difficult. And if you play with a good team, it wasn't a big factor. So I wasn't really thinking about it, but apparently, because I'm like, when it comes to these kind of games, I kind of get like a little elitist, and I hate it, but I become elitist about these games because if you play a specific way, you can do really well and it's really fun. But then people who stray from that, it gets kind of hard to try and progress their game that's essentially trying to punish you the whole time. So I kind of like the challenge of it, but I do admit that it did feel harder. So it's interesting to see them catering to that, which I think is fine because, the mass majority, I want this game to be like well received. I want people to like it. So fixing it for them is fine. It's interesting to hear that the game is getting easier and you're going to get rewarded easier. So it sounds like the overall experience is just kind of being, I don't know, adapted to an easier or better feel, I guess. Not necessarily something I feel like I needed, but I welcome it. If I can get level 300 stuff earlier on, that's cool. As for the enemies, like I said, certain ones, it makes sense. Didn't you say they're buffing certain moves or something too? Certain
Character skills, yes.
Yeah, so it sounds like they're just making the whole experience a lot more accessible, which, like I said, no problem with that. I just I hope it's not too easy, or maybe change the curve of the difficulty. Whereas before it already seemed kind of high. Maybe like when you get into those harder difficulties, it will be kind of like what it was before.
Yeah.
So I don't mind it, but it's not something I actually thought about or needed.
I mean, balance changes are going to come to most games that have characters with like stats and stuff like that.
This is more than that, though. This is a complete overhaul. This is like a beta test difference.
Yeah.
There's a lot of changes all at once. This is the whole game.
So, I mean, as long as they don't make the game too easy, I don't see an issue with this at all. And hopefully, if people are clamoring for harder difficulty, maybe they'll add another difficulty at the end or something to still have that there for people to want to do. This could also be because we always played, when we played this with the same people every time, so we were able to get used to each other. I'm sure a lot of people are just doing like pickup groups, And I could imagine certain scenarios in this game being very difficult because we ran into a couple times. Like you said, there's certain guys that are just more challenging than they probably should have been compared to the rest of the game, at least. So, but I mean, overall, I mean, we'll see. I'm sure they've got a good idea of what they're doing, and we're taking information on what actually needed to be adjusted and are going forward with that. So,
anything else you want to say on that? All right, let us know in the comments. What do you think about Vermintide 2? Have you played it? Did you think it's too hard? Did you think it's just fine? What do you think about the changes? And yeah, let us know. Last bit of news. Boss Q Productions, the guys who made Lawbreakers, recently came out and said that the game is not doing as well as they hoped, and they kind of have accepted that. They are flirting with the idea of going free to play. And I don't think there's a whole lot of news on it, but people want it on Xbox One. I don't know if that would save the game, but that was definitely something that a lot of people want, which makes sense.
I didn't know it wasn't.
Huh?
I didn't know it wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah, it's only on PS4 and PC, which is really weird. And I read something at some point that said, like, they're more willing to go free to play before they go to Xbox One, which is weird.
That is weird.
Yeah. So anyway, with all of this discussion about Lawbreakers not doing well, they just yesterday came out saying that they have a new game that's already in beta. You can buy into the early access of a game that will become free to play called Radical Heights, which is a battle royale game, very popular right now. So they're jumping aboard that bandwagon. Kind of interesting that they went from character shooter or hero shooter / arena shooter to now a battle royale game. But this game has kind of its own systems in place, very cartoony looking, very 80s inspired. And yeah, I could sit here and explain it, but we actually have a video we're going to watch. It's about 3 minutes long. IGN is going to break down what this game is, show us what it looks like. And yeah, so anything you want to say before we watch this? All right, let's do it.
Ryan McCaffrey here, Tom Marks there. We're talking about Radical Heights, Tom. Cliff Blazinski, his studio, Boss Key Productions. They had Lawbreakers last year. Now they've come just 5 months of work into an extreme early access version of a new battle royale game with a couple of interesting
Seems
hooks.
really fast.
This just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
What are we looking at?
Yeah, so it's a free-to-play battle royale game that's hitting early access, like you said, tomorrow. The kind of main thing, it's like 80s themed, 80s reality TV show, very colorful. But the main thing it has to do is that you find cash on the map, you collect that cash, and then if you lose the match, you get half of it goes to an offshore account, and if you win, it doubles your money and goes to the offshore account. And then the trick is there are ATMs around the map, and you can actually, in later matches, withdraw money and then spend that money on vending machines which have better items or better gear in the match. So if you gather up a lot of money and then you drop down and you find an ATM, you can actually get an advantage quicker than other players who might just be dropping in for their first game.
And this, this is Cliff Blazinski's studio, and Lawbreakers was their last game, Tom, and Lawbreakers, I think, it gets a really bad rap. There's like a stink on it, but it was a good game. It just didn't hook on. Yep. So there's plenty of optimism to be had here, because you were telling me earlier that you're not the biggest fan of the actual gunplay in Fortnite, which is the titan, the juggernaut that Radical Heights has to go up against, and maybe with Cliff's background, we might have some better gunplay in this one.
Yeah, I think that's the real hope of this one. I mean, Fortnite is so huge. There's like a lot to compete against
weird
there.
how big Fortnite got.
Behemoth to overcome. But I think that they have an opportunity to offer something that Fortnite doesn't. In a package a little closer to PUBG, maybe. Like, PUBG is a whole different beast because it's not free to play, right? But I think they have an opportunity here. They're trying to do something different. It looks pretty cool, and we'll see tomorrow if it's actually any fun to play.
Yeah, so free, extreme early access, but there is a little bit of something you can spend money on if you want to.
Yeah.
Is that, are we getting into any pay-to-win territory here, or how are we looking on this?
I think the answer is we don't know yet 100%. There is a Founders Pack that you can pay $15 for, and that'll give you some cash right away, but then also...
Apparently, they actually got rid of that, though,
within
the time they announced it.
At the end of a match.
They give you a 10% increase on cash reward, but they got rid of the money they give you up front.
There is this kind of concern where it's like, you can spend real money to just have more cash for your later matches, and it's like, is the ATM going to be that big of a deal? We don't know yet. Is it going to be really hard to withdraw your money? There's all these questions that are like, maybe it's not that big of an issue.
If that's the case and you can buy money to spend in the game, that's fucked up because they're there to have weapons for you to have quick access to. I'm sure you'll find weapons, but the point of having money is to get those weapons when you find them, like unlock them there. So it's not a good idea.
It's going to be on this one. So for much more on Radical Heights, keep it tuned right here to IGN.
All right, so you pretty much got the gist of it. It's a battle royale game, cartoony, 80s influenced. It's a cash system that you collect cash, you get it from other people. If you die, you lose it, but if you win, it doubles. Actually, it said you keep it.
You keep half.
Yeah, you keep half. Yeah, and then you can put that in ATMs, kind of like Grand Theft Auto used to have that system. And then you can withdraw it and use it. And then they're saying that there's some word that you're going to be able to buy the cash. So what do we think about them jumping to this quickly? It's in early access. I guess they've been working on it for like 5 months. And what do you think about the gameplay and the systems? And how do you think it's going to be received?
So as far as like them releasing it in early access right now, really early, it sounds like it's probably smart because they're getting out there while everyone is playing these games, and it does sound like they're trying to do something to make themselves unique from it while also being familiar, because it does kind of give me a Fortnite vibe, like appearance wise, because it's got that cartoony look to it. I think free to play is smart as well for this type, because obviously the more accessible it is, the more people get their hands on it. And look what happened to Fortnite. PUBG is doing just fine, don't get me wrong, but is no longer the crown king. So
yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah. As far as like the way it looks and stuff like that, I mean, it's kind of difficult for me because I'm not really into battle royale games at all. But knowing the team making it and seeing, I watched you play a little bit of Lawbreakers, and it seemed like the shooting was pretty tight. So
Lawbreakers is fucking dope. It just didn't have the content.
Yeah.
And the game modes, and then God, they're so close to having a great game there.
Well, hopefully, especially with them very, at least in this IGN video, emphasizing how early the access of the title is, that they can use that and develop the game with feedback the whole way.
Yeah.
So
first off, my big concern here is Cliff Bleszinski is a fucking really stubborn dude. Obviously, the dude has like clout. This dude's like legendary when it comes to gaming. He worked on Unreal. He fucking created Gears of War, left Gears of War, made fucking Lawbreakers. But when he's talking about Lawbreakers originally, he was talking about free to play. But he said he wanted free to play to be like Vegas. He said he wants you to go there and it's supposed to feel fucking awesome and great, and you're gonna want to spend money on all the shit. And then they went to the pay model. Because he's like, this game's too good. We want to fucking just like give you all the content when you buy it, all that shit. Kind of made this weird kind of like similar to Overwatch in the system of unlocking things system. I'm fucking reiterating myself. And it just didn't. It felt confused the way they did it. They're too in the middle of trying to figure out what they want to do, and now they're thinking about going free to play again. This game is also going free to play, which is good. But then I'm hearing that thing about the cash system, and it's like, it sounds like Cliff Bleszinski just does not. It sounds like he's trying to fucking figure out like the economics of the game, which he should. But like, it sounds like he's going to like extremes to make sure the game makes its money, which kind of freaks me out because that emphasis on that and not the gameplay. I don't know if we're gonna get a good game or not. Now, like I said before, Lawbreakers plays really well. I liked it a lot. Like they were saying in the video, it has tight shooting. I think this game will fucking feel great. It has to. He has a long legacy of that. I think visually looks cool. I like seeing the Goofy like doing BMX tricks in the air thing. That kind of gives it some character. But the animations in the game were shit. So I hope they fix that. I mean, it sounds like I'm being kind of like a dick, but like they do not look good. They look very stiff. The guys all like move weird, and I would really hope that the game will look better over time. I think the cash system's interesting. I don't like the idea of buying it, but it does kind of give a longevity of like after a match, there's still progression happening there. You're still accruing something that can benefit you. But I still feel like Boss Key is kind of like not. I don't think they're gonna hit the mark with this. I think they're confused on what they're after and why they're after it. I feel like they're just trying to get a fucking, like any company, I feel like they're trying to get like just that fucking home run. Mm-hmm. But they're not really doing anything. They're not really working on like the addictive qualities. They're just trying to emulate ideas that have already existed. And trying to figure out how to get that to people and make money off of it. And I feel like they're confused. So I hope this game does well. I will definitely try it. I'm not buying early access to it though. I did that with Lawbreakers.
Is it buy-in or does it have a buy-in option?
Buy-in for early access.
Oh, I thought they said it was available, but there was a purchasable thing to it.
Maybe that's the case. I don't know. They said that the thing you can pay for though, it's like a pack or something like that, gives you, originally gave you money, but gives you a 10% increase. But then I read somewhere else that it said they got rid of that. So regardless, you can get into early access to it. I'm not spending money on it until I can try it and know. But I'm already kind of worried about it. A lot of people on Twitter were saying like, do these guys just like to be fucking late to the party constantly? Although I don't think making Battle Royale right now is late to the party. I think that party is still going quite a bit. Me and you actually speculated how long we thought this was going to go for. We both said about 2 years. Mm-hmm. So I think there's still plenty of time. They got to make that game fucking addicting. They got to make it so people don't want to stop playing it. And they got to drag people away from fucking PUBG, and they got to drag people away from Fortnite. And what I saw there doesn't look like it's going to do it. But it's free to play, so that's a good start. Because that's why Fortnite fucking is killing it.
Oh yeah, no, that's exactly why. So
yeah, anything else you want to say on that?
No.
Any interest in playing it?
Nope.
Let us know in the comments. What do you think about Radical Heights? Do you think it's going to do well? Are you interested in playing it? Do you think it looks like shit? Are you fucking sick of Battle Royals already? What do you think about buying in-game cash? Do you think it's going to affect the game that much? And let me know what you're thinking about anything that we talked about this episode. And yeah, that's going to do it for this episode of Tasty Tuesday on Tasty Loot Gaming. So always thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy this episode. Make sure to check out our other episodes. Check us out on Tumblr, Twitter, and Facebook at Tasty Loot Gaming. Check out my streams on Twitch at Tasty Senpai, all one word. Make sure to hit the notification button to know when I go live. And yeah, my name's Seth.
And I'm Chevy.
And real quick, I did a review for Far Cry 5. I beat it. It's a non-spoiler review, so make sure to check that out. If you're playing the game, if you're interested in playing the game, if you want to hear me discuss the ending, I'm going to wait a little bit, but I want to do a spoiler talk about the ending of the game for you guys who also beat it. But go check that out. And yeah, until the next episode, which should be Tastecast on Friday, have a good week, guys, and take it easy.